Hey, is anyone home? This was the instant message we received one late September night in 2005 from my brother, Adam, an infantry soldier in Iraq. We all rushed to the computer to tell him we were here and wanted to talk. We asked him if he had a webcam because we need to see him. We need to see if it really was him, even though it was really hard to see his face and his emotions. When he saw our webcam image, it was full of a bunch of smiling faces, all of us trying to hide the emotions we had bundled up inside. As he talked a while to each one of us, we realized the person he wanted to hear from the most was his daughter. She had just turned 5 and he could not stand to spend so much time away from his pride and joy. When I was told the topic was Freedom's Challenge, the only thing that came to mind was my brother and all his fellow men who spent many days away from their homes and their familiar surroundings to fight for the United States. Being the peacemaker in our family, it seemed odd for him to join the National Guard, but he said now we need to keep peace in our nation. It was very hard for us to watch the news and hear all the negatives about President Bush and the war on terrorism. I don't know how many times we asked him why we were there, and he always said that it was not just to protect our freedom, but to protect the freedom of the entire world. I firmly believe it was his mission to make the world equal and right once and for all. When my brother left home to fight for our country, he told us that he was coming back home and was wondering which one of us he would not see again. He said a soldier has a better chance of coming home from Iraq than all the soldiers' family members being there when he returned. I guess you can say we were all calm after he said this, and we were able to sleep at night knowing he was in a safe place. In a way, he proved himself right, because on July 31st, 2005, our grandfather had passed away. The only reason Adam was allowed to return was because our grandfather was a veteran. It really opened our eyes that Adam knew what he was talking about. Surprisingly, when he got home, he told us that infantry did not count in that statement. We were all a little upset, however we knew it didn't matter, because now he was home. I think one of the greatest things anyone could take back from war is the little things that make a spark in your life. I remember one story was about his little friends who had asked for footballs in return for some Iraqi food. He told the locals who would do no more except shake their fists until one day they would bring water in a kind gesture. He was there when the girls first started to come out of the homes and played games just like the boys and really had a blast. We watched a movie of one of my brother's friends teaching the children how to play Simon Says and other games that we played as a group. My absolute favorite story was my brother. He had this area on lockdown and the pregnant woman was in labor, but he couldn't tell because her bio was so big. And finally, when she fell to the ground, he got the message and let her out. I know my brother came back a changed man for the better and for the worse, but I still cannot get over how my brother at such a young age is a veteran. Freedom's Challenge is all about being strong and brave enough to fight for your beliefs and your country. There has always been a distinct meaning of a strong person. A strong person can comfort someone in their time of need, with just a hug or even a few words. A strong person will stand up for his or her rights and beliefs, no matter what the consequences may be. I believe that the meaning of a strong person is not just the above, but also much more. It takes a strong person to sit down at the end of the day to reflect on the day's accomplishments. A strong person cares about everyone, not judging them by their personal traits and characteristics. A strong person will fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. I will be the first to admit how highly I think of my brother, because he is one of those who met Freedom's Challenge. When I asked my brother if I could write about him, he looked at me and said not to focus on him, but on what they had accomplished. When you think about it, how many people are willing to die for one another? In this day and age, everyone thinks of themselves and what benefits will come from them through their actions. What my brother meant by waiting to see who would die by the time he got home was that today's society, so many are involved in drinking, drag racing, or using drugs instead of finding better ways to spend the short life that we live. It's just like my brother's favorite quote from the Bible, John chapter 15, verse 13. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. What do you think would happen if we did not have our armed forces? Would we still be the great country we are living in? Would we still have our most loved freedom? Ask yourself these questions, and next time you take advantage of your freedom, think about my brother and all the others that are fighting for you to live in freedom.